Hello and welcome to part 2. Now, of course, addition and subtraction equations aren't always quite as straightforward. They can switch things up a little bit, and I'll show you two examples of that, and then a more difficult example in part 3. So the goal is still to get the variable alone. No matter what, get the variable alone. Now, in this example that I'm going to show you here, if I have 16 equals 11 plus m. The only real difference with this one is that my variable happens to be on the other side of the equal sign. It's on the right side this time. No different approach here. I want to isolate m. I want to get m alone. Therefore, I have to get rid of what is with it. Well, this 11 is with it. There also happens to be this plus sign, but all that is showing is that our m is positive. It's got a positive sign before it. So it's really just m. We don't need to think of it as negative m. It's just an m. So I need to get rid of this 11, which also happens to be positive. Just in the same way that if you're 11 years old, you don't say you're positive 11 years old. You leave the positive out of it. You just say you're 11. So the 11 is a positive number. It doesn't have any negative sign before it. Therefore, we solve it the same way we did before. To get rid of a positive 11, you subtract 11. That will remove it from that right side of the equal sign. Well, whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So if I subtract 11 from the right side of the equal sign, I must subtract 11 from the other side. I have to keep that equation balanced. Easy enough on the left side here. 16 minus 11 is 5. My equal sign just comes straight down. And I've gotten rid of this 11. 11 minus 11 is 0. There's nothing there. There's no need to signify that there's a 0. I just know that I have a positive m left. Well, there's no need for the positive sign either. So it's m equals 5. So one more slightly different example. The rules are still the same. I want to get the variable alone, and I need to do the same thing to both sides of the equation. So let's say I have 3 equals negative 6 plus y. This time again, my variable is a positive variable. That addition sign there is really just saying that I have a positive y. Not really going to change much of anything. I do, however, this time have a negative 6 that I have to get rid of. If I want to get that variable alone, I've got to get rid of that negative 6. Well, like we saw in the last video, to get rid of a negative number, you add to it to get it back to 0. And you're really just doing the opposite. So I'm going to add 6 to that negative 6. Whatever I do to one side of an equation, I have to do to the other, so I have to add 6 over here as well. 3 plus 6 is 9. My equal sign again comes down. Negative 6 plus 6 is nothing. It's 0. They've essentially canceled each other out. So that's gone. I'm just left with a positive y, which I can just write as y. And y does equal 9.